What would you say fatherhood means to you?
Responsibility.
Okay. How so?
So you and your partner have decided to bring another human being into the world, right? They didn't choose you. You brought that human being into the world. So it's your responsibility to make sure that you arm them with all the tools.
Welcome to Dads Dey, the African Fatherhood podcast, a platform where we celebrate and support modern day African fathers. Together, let's redefine fatherhood, one story at a time. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Thanks for making the time.
Anytime.
So tell us, what's your name and what do you do?
My name is Ekanem Ufot, and I'm in oil and gas upstream. So I own a company which has been operating for about 6 years now, and we support the IOCs with a wide range of products and services, basically. So the TALOs, the ENIs, TechNIPs, etc.
I see.
Yes.
Ekanem, where's that from?
It's a state called Akwa Ibom. It's in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I'm from.
I see.
Yeah.
But right now you're like me, you're a Ghana man.
Oh, I'm a Ghana man now, right? Yeah, I've been here for 9 years.
Okay, how's that going?
Oh, very good. Because I've lived in the UK before. I've lived in Nigeria. I call Ghana the midway point for me. So
Between both?
Yes, and because we've heard the stories about Nigeria not being safe and things. Ghana is very safe.
Right.
Safety is number one priority for me. And then there's still as much as yes, we're from different countries, there's still similarities with the way we
that's
think,
true. That's
certain
true.
foods, and yeah, so it's very comfortable. I don't see myself leaving Ghana anytime soon.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Tell me, how long have you been a dad?
5 years.
Okay, how's that going?
Oh, good. I'm actually enjoying it. My daughter is like, after a long day of work, like driving back to the house, that's one of the first things I think of, like seeing her.
All right.
So sometimes I get home and she's sleeping. I'm like, oh.
I missed it.
Yes, but yeah. It's tough, but it's worth it. I'd say, yeah.
Definitely. Are we expecting a number 2 anytime soon?
I would say no, but there are reasons behind it.
Okay.
Yes. My wife had a very bad pregnancy.
Okay.
Yes, and my daughter was actually 2 months premature.
Right.
Yeah, so she came out 37 weeks. Yes, so it was a rough experience.
Yeah.
And chances are that if she gets pregnant again, it will happen again.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we'll get through that.
You see, it's funny, right? People always, and before we had our first, I think things like National Geographic and stuff, they desensitized me, because I'm sure people are different, but it desensitized me to the realities of childbirth.
Yeah.
You see animals and then it drops and then they just start walking and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But ours was also a difficult birth, and
First or second?
the first.
Okay.
Yeah, and I remember like shortly after, if not on the day, I told my wife, if you want it to be only one, I'm good.
Be good with it. Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says, but right now we have 2. And my grandma especially, she used to, she's an advocate for big families because she had 10 children.
Okay.
And I'm like, we don't do it like that anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from the fact that they're expensive, it's definitely not the easiest thing, especially if you want to be present in their lives, right? So it's a lot to invest in the well-being of these fragile little people.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's been definitely worthwhile as well.
Yes.
Loads more. It's funny. I think when it comes to the balance of highs and lows, because of life, there are a lot more lows.
Yes.
But then the highs make it so worthwhile.
Yes, absolutely.
It's crazy.
Absolutely. I always say, I don't know if, because I think I'm quite an ambitious guy, right?
Okay.
And I always tell myself, I don't know if I would be this ambitious if I wasn't married and if I didn't have a kid.
Right.
Because waking up in the morning to go to the office can be tough. You know, just knowing you're going to expect a day of just rough stuff. But then you think about, okay, look, especially this, like you say, this fragile, she needs to be taken care of. Then you just wake up and you do it because you have to do it. Maybe if I was on my own, I'll just,
Who is
I'll make a couple of
Gary
bucks.
today?
Yeah. But yeah, so apart from just like, okay, you're loving your child, the fact that you know that, okay, at least I know, I want to give my child the best in terms of education and, as I say, presence, because the presence is very important
Yeah.
as well, right?
Yeah. Not to take anything away from boys, but especially also her being a girl.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm naturally calm by nature. When it comes to my daughter, I'm aggressive. Like nobody, even on playgrounds, I'm there. I hope to withdraw a bit at some point, but yes. So it's worth it. It's
Right.
worth it. It gives me the drive to do better. To do better.
Same. I mean, yeah, definitely. I can't, agree with you more. Yeah. Tell me, what was your childhood like? I mean, right now you're bringing up your daughter in Ghana.
Yeah.
You grew up in Nigeria.
Nigeria, yes.
Yeah. And so, what was that experience like?
Okay, so my dad, like I was telling you earlier, my dad was also into oil and gas. He had a business. My mom used to work at Shell. So I'd classify us as a middle class family, right?
Okay.
I'm the third of three siblings, another boy and a girl, right? And so my dad was a very traditional person. He was the second born of 7 kids. The first was a girl.
Okay.
So naturally, everything came to him, right? We grew up having a lot of our cousins around in our house.
Okay.
I mean, my dad was doing the best in his family, so naturally everybody gravitated towards him.
Yeah.
So we grew up with a lot of cousins, aunties, uncles, always being in the house. So I would say, I mean, as an adult, I understand it now. But like in my teenage years, we felt a certain way because it was almost as if his attention was spread amongst. Yeah, they did their best. I mean, again, being a parent, you start understanding some certain dynamics. Okay, look, this guy had to do this. This guy had to do this. I have a very good relationship with my father, and like I was saying the other day, my dad always spoke to me not like an adult, but like, okay, like someone that understands, right? He never treated me like a kid. So, even when I had issues, he would sit me down, talk to me, and not hide anything. He was always big on actions and consequences, and he'd always tell us, if you do this, this is the consequence. So if you do this and this happens, then don't cry about it. You made it happen.
Right.
So it was, I wouldn't even call it tough love. He wasn't as present as I would have liked, but I understand because he had to. And again, times have changed, right? He had to go make money, basically.
You had to go hunt.
Yes, and like I said, he was taking care of not only us, but so many people. So I can now understand what the pressures were then. But I can't complain much about my childhood. Right? I went to some of the best schools in Nigeria, and he sent me and my siblings out to study, and his job was done. So yeah, I mean, we always nitpick. Oh, if you had done this, and I'm sure our kids will have this kind of conversations.
I'm sure.
But the goal for me is to do better than my parents did. And like I was saying the other day, my parents came last year, or was it this year? Early this year.
You came to Ghana?
Yeah, they came to Ghana.
Okay.
They were here for 2 months, and you could see. I noticed the way they were looking at how me and wifey were handling my kid, because we don't hit my kid. We don't beat. We don't. And my dad even made a statement to my mom that "Oop, this thing actually works, right? Because we talk to our daughter. She understands consequences. I love her to death, she knows. But when I say no, or she understands immediately that this guy means it. I'm not going to waver, no matter how hard it is for me. But so in a nutshell, it wasn't a bad upbringing. There are things obviously he could have done better, which I know he realizes that because we also have conversations about it, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we do. He made me some mistakes in life, which we all do, and but I mean, it's part of the journey, part of learning, seeing what has happened before, and trying to improve on it, not to become either the same or worse.
Right.
Yeah.
It's novel to me hearing that you and your father have conversations around your interactions, life together,
Yeah.
both when you were younger and now.
Yeah.
And then also, at least you have him to go back for, whatever
Yes.
type of like advice there is and things.
Yeah.
That's an awesome relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't hear that a lot
Yeah.
with especially with sons and their
Yes,
fathers.
yes.
Maybe your mother you'd be able to, but then
Yes,
with
yes, yes.
fathers and their sons is not common,
Yes.
I think.
Oh no, it's not, because I had I had friends that come over to the house. My dad would come and we're having conversations, and they're looking at me like, okay, because it's not normal for them. For them, is your dad comes into the living
Scatter.
room, you move.
Yeah.
We'll talk. My dad used to play football with us,
Okay.
so he did his best,
Yeah.
the best he could. He did well. He did
Yeah.
well. Yes, I can't say anything more than that, but he did well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Looking at that, how would you say you are trying to? I know you said you're trying to do better,
Yeah.
better or at least match.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
What would you say your biggest challenge is right now in your experience as a 5-year-old father?
Biggest one is being present. I try. But again, there's the business dynamic, there's the marriage dynamic, and then obviously the fatherhood dynamic.
Right.
So it's about how you mix these things. I've been called a workaholic, right? So like I get immersed into my work. But I like dropping her at school. When I come back, like I try to spend time with her. Weekends, we play. I try to do her homework with her.
Okay.
Me and my daughter have a very close relationship where
Nice.
we're very close, right? And just obviously me and her mom, right? And my daughter has this thing where, so I know of a lot of couples where you hear, oh, my child gravitates more to this person. I would say for us it's split, which is
Okay.
it's
That's
very,
awesome.
oh yeah, it's split, and it's almost as if she's very aware of, okay, I don't want to make this person feel bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yesterday I come in and she runs to me, and I'm on the jokes. So why don't you run to me? And I come immediately. She leaves me and she runs to the mom. Like so she's
guys
very
are
aware.
stressing the child
Yeah,
out.
I know. It's probably a bad example, but yeah. But so she knows what she wants from each parent, and she gets it from us. Yeah.
But it's interesting when you see, like you say, how they're very assertive as they grow up,
Yes.
and you can tell early on that they know what
Yes.
they are thinking.
They're aware.
Yeah, very much
They're
so.
aware.
And not just about, they pick up on people's moods
Yes.
and all sorts. It's
Yes.
it's amazing
Yes,
to
it
see.
is. It is.
It's amazing
It
to
is.
see.
It is. It
What
is.
would you say fatherhood means to you?
Responsibility.
Okay, how so?
So you and your partner have decided to bring another human being into the world, right? They didn't choose you. You brought that human being into the world. So it's your responsibility to make sure that you arm them with all the tools. And I'm not just talking about money or education, but training, understanding of how the world works, right? My daughter is very sensitive. And sometimes it seems harsh, but I talk to my daughter. She's 5, but like I talk to her, same thing my dad used to do about actions and consequences, right? If you do this, these are the consequences. Right? Because as much as we want to shelter them, they're going to go into the world at some point. So the responsibility of making sure that you create a right path without being a dictator, right? Being, oh, I want you to do this. Creating an environment where there's free will, but there's structure around the free will, basically.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, like we are discussing the other time, right? Like growing up, your parents wanted you to do something in particular concerning education, right? And even when you ask questions, why? Because I said so.
Yep.
You understand? That's not an answer. And what tends to happen is when you get that response, then you go seek for answers somewhere else,
right.
which might not be as favorable as if it was your parents, right? So, as annoying as it is, like we try to answer as many questions to my daughter as possible, like without being dismissive.
No,
Annoying,
same here.
Annoying, but
Same here.
you know, because they need to understand. If not from you, then like I said, they'll learn from somewhere else. They would definitely learn from somewhere. And kids are curious, right? So if you're not answering somebody from school, because my daughter has come back from school a few times and said, "Oh, this person said this. Like, is it true?" Now, if I wasn't open to my daughter, I don't think she would even come, and she would just take that as,
Of course.
you understand.
Gospel.
So it's conversation. It's not easy. It's not an easy. And again, sometimes you're tired. You're tired. You just want to,
That was me last
dismiss.
night.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
home and I'm going through like a bunch of old hard drives, and she's asking, "What is that?" And I just wanted to tell her, "You won't understand." But then I was like, "So when it gets hot, this is what tries to like."
yeah.
And then you always have to I always have to try and make sure that I'm not flippant in my responses or, like you say, dismissive.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
Oh, she was just calling me.
Okay.
Yeah. It's true. It's hard. It's hard. But then I think there's more value in being present enough to respond
Yeah.
positively.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or at least truthfully.
Well, yes.
At least truthfully.
Yeah. When I say positive, I mean
yeah.
coming from a positive
Absolutely,
space, not
absolutely.
necessarily like
Yes,
making
yes.
the answer positive.
Yes.
Truthfully,
Yes,
definitely,
yes,
always.
yes.
What would you say has been the most surprising thing about fatherhood for you?
Okay, so surprising is how much energy my daughter gives me.
Okay.
Yes. Well, like I say, there are days you're just down, and my daughter is very active. Like, okay, that's one, the energy, and how intelligent kids are. Like you say,
such
they
a young
pick,
age, right?
they pick things up, they pick emotions. It's sometimes I just sit down, study her, and maybe me and her mom are having issues, not probably arguing, but just having issues. She picks them up, and she sort of feels like it's her responsibility to make it right.
Right.
And it's interesting. I obviously I don't remember being a kid, but it's interesting that we look at them as these tiny people that they don't know anything, but there's more to them than, and if you harness that, then you get more from them,
True.
right? And that's the whole thing of not being dismissive, because they're like a blank
Slate,
right? So it's information, and we have been tarnished by experiences, so the way we respond to or want to take information in is different. But them it's clean, it's pure.
Yeah.
And so once you understand that as a parent, then it's it makes it makes parenting different from what you've seen, and so that is surprising. That is surprising. The kind of questions or the kind of things she says, right? The emotional intelligence of understanding certain things, right? So today is Wednesday. So Monday, taking her to school. Last Friday, taking her to school. She was playing with her toys. One fell, and she said, "I should stop the car." So I did it. So Monday, same thing happened, and Imani, stop dropping your toys down. Oh, but last time I was like, yes, but I'm trying to teach you a lesson. Cried, got to school, we made up. Tuesday, same thing happened. And as soon as she dropped it, she said, "Daddy, I know you're trying to teach me a lesson, but, And then, so the question was, is this going to happen every time I drop my toys? I'm like, not really, but I'm just trying to make you understand that you have to be more careful with playing with it because I'm driving and you have to get to school on time. But her understanding of, okay, I've done this again. Let me understand what my dad is saying. Are you saying, every time I drop my toy? And she said, it wasn't intentional. I said, I understand, but you have to be more careful about it.
Right.
But that understanding, it took me aback.
She's trying to say that I didn't mean to do this, so why are you doing it?
Yes.
You have to understand.
Yes. So, but then the understanding of, okay, it's not as if every time, but he's trying to teach me to be more careful with, my toy. So they teach us as much as we teach them, I'm telling you.
True. So speaking of teaching, I mean, like you say, this is like stuff that you're learning two-way. It's a two-way thing. You are teaching and then they're teaching you. What would you say are lessons you learned from your father that you're trying to emulate?
My father was very transparent with us.
Okay.
I won't say he never hid because we've discovered some things I hid, but as much as possible, he was very transparent with us. And my father was very big on respect.
Right.
I wouldn't say I want to take I want to take a modified approach. And again, I have only one, so it's different. So with me and my siblings, the hierarchy was very clear.
Okay.
Very, very clear in everything. In sharing food and money,
big meat,
it was very clear. So I even grew up with that respect for hierarchy. So even till this day, when someone, it's even by age, so when someone is older than me, like my business partner is 5 years older than I am, but I still give him that respect of we're business partners. We're doing this. We're not doing the same thing, but we're running the company together. But so that to me, respect is very. Whether it's even, I mean, kids get carried away, right? Sometimes she's talking to her nanny, and I'm like, "What are your magic?" Like, you still have to be respectful, no matter who it is. You're finished eating. Don't wait for someone to come. You go. You have to understand respect. Not, I mean, don't be a. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Kiss ass, right?
Knock yourself out.
Don't be a kiss ass, but understand respect. So that was one of the things my father drilled into us. It was I never spoke back to my parents. I wasn't out of fear. I was out of understanding that it's respect. There are a few times when I got older that we will actually have conversations, right? But so I'd say respect is one of the things that's.
So respect and transparency.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of awesome. I mean, I still marvel when you talk about like the relationship you had when you were growing up. That's kind of awesome.
It wasn't all great. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Right? I'm not trying to paint a picture of. We always used to say that, but there was still that old school father-son relationship. But he used to talk to us.
No, but it sounded a lot more progressive than the time.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Yes, it was.
It sounded a lot more progressive for the time. So right now we are talking about how our children are so intelligent at their age and sensitive, and then they're trying to assert themselves. So you didn't talk back when you were a child. How much of this do you think she's going to take up? Does she right now? Does she try and voice her opinion?
Yeah.
And because my daughters have so much agency, and I think it's across board. These little human beings, they let you
Yeah,
know, right?
yeah, yeah.
I think gone are the days of children are supposed to be
Yep,
seen and
yep,
not heard.
yeah.
So how do you harness this and let her hone her individuality?
We encourage it.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
We encourage it. And main reason is because if we don't encourage it at home, then she doesn't do it outside. So in school, right? So we always tell her to speak up. If there's an issue, don't go into your corner, speak up. Right. So she's very vocal. So even in school. And she wasn't always that way.
Okay.
She was a COVID baby, so she was always, but now she voices out. And we encourage it because again, as hard as it seems, you have to prepare your child for growth, for going into the world, basically, right? And if she's not someone that's and not even outspoken, but if you have issues, you address it, right? Especially in our environment, right? Again, I always say before I say anything about Ghanaians, I always say I'm a Ghanaian as well, so I can say, right?
Okay.
One of the biggest culture shocks I had here was how people don't speak up, right? Especially coming from Nigeria and from the UK as well, right? So there was an incident we had. Then we were at Tesano, right? There was power outage, and I think the ECG system wasn't working. So by the time it came up, there was a long line. So I'm standing on the line and in the line, and some guy just walks past straight to the counter.
The counter.
And there are guys behind me that are mumbling. Oh, why is it? I'm like, but dude, go tell him. Do you understand? So we're trying to instill that if you have an issue, you speak up about it. My wife is a dynamite. Like she speaks up. She's very anti-bullying.
Sounds like mine.
Justice. I always call her part of the Justice League.
It sounds like mine.
Yeah. So I want that for my daughter. I want her to be able to speak up and be free, right? And understand that, okay, yes, there are boundaries to things, but you don't go into your shell. Yeah. So even my daughter will say, look, I don't like the way you did this. And we talk about it.
Right.
And I explain. And if I have to, I apologize, which is something I hardly heard from my parents, right?
Yeah.
They'll do it in different ways. I mean, there are skits of, how African parents apologize. It's funny, but a lot of us are growing up with certain traumas. It sounds like a strong word, but it's the truth.
No, it's true.
Right? With certain traumas and it affects us going forward. Right? It affects the way we deal with authority. Right? So I always say one of the best things that happened to me was traveling outside to see how another part of the world works.
Right.
I'm not saying it's perfect, but even in terms of expression of self. And So those things, it affects even going to, okay, what you really want to do in life, right? I did biochemistry in school. And after my first year, I knew I was wasting my time. Do you understand? I always say that if first of all, I told my parents okay, but if I was expressive enough, right? I feel I would have pushed back. Right. And I always say if my parents spent 30 minutes having a conversation about why I'm doing biochemistry, they would have come to the conclusion that
it wasn't for you.
Do you understand? So it seems small, but as you grow, it affects other parts of your life, right? And so that part, I want her to express herself, or we. I keep saying I. It's a father's podcast, but yeah, yeah. So in a nutshell, that's what I would say.
In so in getting her ready for the world, there's transparency, there's respect. That comes from your father. What is coming from you?
It's a hard question to answer because it's anything that comes from me comes from somewhere else, right?
Right.
Experiences.
Right.
So it's still along those lines, but my reasoning for it is very different. I lived a sheltered life as a kid,
Okay.
and when I was exposed to the world, I went. There are two parts. I went when I say sheltered, like okay, no going out, this that, right, and then I get to the UK when I'm 19, and the whole world is in front of me, and you can imagine the kind of things,
course.
right? I don't want my daughter to have that experience, right?
Okay.
I want her to have an understanding, and I keep saying this world thing because I have friends, relatives that I've seen what lack of exposure, and I'm not talking about traveling, but exposure to how the world works has done to them. They're clueless. And when you're clueless, first thing that attracts you, you go towards, whether it's crime or whatever it is, right? What I primarily want for my daughter, right? And me and wifey, we have these conversations all the time. So even when it comes to education, I'm like, look, I'm happy for her to have traditional education of okay, going to school and things, but there's more to life than that, right? I want her to first of all explore her interests. I mean, you're doing photography and videography. When I met you, I was telling you that look, if I told my dad I was doing that, but if that's what your interest is, then do it. So in a nutshell, what I would say what I want for her, I'll put it that way, is being in a structured environment but having the freedom to express and freedom to explore. Because really, from her age to probably when she's a teenager, that's the only time you can do that within a structure where you're not exposed to, because after that it's okay. Not you're on your own, but that's when life starts. That's when you go to uni, you start working, and so to train her to understand how the world, I keep saying how the world works, because the world works in where, I mean, you're in business, you've traveled, you see how it is. And a lot of people are clueless. I don't want my kid to be one of those people.
Right.
And secondly, very importantly, I don't want her to be entitled. I don't want her to be entitled. It's a plague, especially in this part of the world. It's a plague.
Yeah.
Where you feel someone owes you something because they're either related to you or your friends, or it's an attitude I despise. I despise because
Understandable.
yes, I want her to know what her potential is, what her strengths are, and not depend on anybody. And when I say depend, obviously you always depend on people. But even if you're depending, not expectations to be, it's your ability to get you somewhere, not somebody because you know somebody, because you guys go to the same school. Or so that's more of an attitude and a mentality or a mindset.
True.
Yeah.
But then that's also trying to maximize the potential of your network, though.
Yeah. Oh no. But you see, there's maximizing and there's expectation that this person has to do something for you.
Okay.
Those are two different things.
Right.
Right. And my point about this is, which I tell my staff and everything, is like, you have to keep adding value to yourself so you can maximize these things, right? And what I mean by that is, okay, I've done this podcast with you and I need something to be done. I don't want to come to you to say, oh, because I did this, do you understand? If I'm coming to you, I have to come with some value to say, okay, if we do this, this is what I can bring to the table. This is what I think can bring to the table. Those are two different things.
True.
Right. So in terms of having value and keep adding to that value so you can maximize. Before we started, I was talking about networking. I'm a big networking guy. I believe in it. I believe we, as a group, we can do better than being individuals, right?
Yes.
But you have to have something to bring to the table.
Of course.
So that's very important to me. That's very important to me. And even her dependence on her parents
Okay.
at a certain point in her life. Do you understand? Even that. Because I believe once your parents take you through school, right? Even in the West, it's secondary school, but here, even to tertiary education, they should be done. The reason they've done this is for you to have the tools to start doing things on your own. They should be. Now, I'm not saying I expect that. Okay, my daughter is has finished, and she's a girl, so for me it's different, right? Right. But there shouldn't be that expectation that, okay, because these people are, that's all. It's just a mindset thing, right? And it's something I've seen even with close friends, that's like, it's a big issue for me. It's a big issue for me. Yeah.
What legacy do you hope to leave for her?
Okay. Definitely not property. But okay. I have my own organization, right? And I'm trying to build more, right? But I would say the main thing I want to leave for her is my name. And what I mean by that is, and that's why I said that's the inspiration, right? The inspiration is not to buy I have no issues with buying property and things, right? But okay, I buy this land and in 20 years' time, it's going to be yours, right? But legacy of, like I was saying earlier, education, and not just traditional education, life education. That's one, and two, my name. I want you to be able to use my name to open doors for yourself. That's it. And I mean, then there's money. Then there's leaving money behind. But all those things they're
Material.
fickle,
Yeah.
right? They can go like this. But being able to give your child that one step in life, so that would be mine. Is creating value, so much value in myself that which will happen even when I'm no more, she can still use that to open doors.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Usually in ending our conversation, I ask what advice you would give to a new father, but same thing, but what advice do you wish you had had before you became a father?
The school fees. I'm joking. Yeah, no, but it's okay. Yeah. So what people usually don't tell you is how the birth of a child affects your marriage, and it's something I wish I knew. But I feel there are two things I feel it's very hard to advise people on, right? Until you're in that situation. One is marriage, and one is having kids.
Okay.
Right? Because even before I got married, like, people tell you, oh, at some point your wife will be upset how you squeeze the toothpaste and things, and like, oh, this, oh, we're good, you know. And then you get into it, and you
It
know,
happens.
it happens. But I always feel it's different for you. But yeah, so that's fatherhood is beautiful and things, but the dynamics of your marriage changes immediately, right? And I was lucky. Like when I got married in 2015. Me and the missus decided that we'll give ourselves a few years before we have kids. And I think that was invaluable.
True.
I don't know what would have happened if it was immediate, right?
No, I agree with you.
Yes. So yes, I wish I knew, and I think I would have handled it a lot better, because again, like because of my daughter's birth circumstances, it was even tougher. Because then she had to be properly sheltered and things like that. So it was a tough time, and I wish I got advice on that, and I would have handled it better. Yeah,
When you say you would have handled it better, what made it difficult?
it's just emotions all around the place, and of course, like it's a cliche, but I she didn't come out of me. She came out, you know, and then it's almost like, okay, you're overwhelmed with this baby, and Mrs. is also telling you about her issues. Oh, let's concentrate on it. But I mean, I think that's insensitive at the end of the day, right?
Right.
So is that separation of, okay, yes, this baby needs care, but this woman has gone through a lot as well,
Yeah.
you know. So how do we heal and you know
Mix. Yeah.
so that I didn't do. It was a full swing to, okay, daddy duties. I was very active, feeding, changing, bathing, all those things. So you do that and you feel, okay, what I'm doing, do you understand?
I'm contributing.
Oh, I'm doing. Why are
Yeah.
you complaining? But she has other needs which are more emotional. And I was, like I was saying before, like I don't have an emotional bone in my body, right? I'm very practical. It's not a good thing. I know it.
But now that you've identified it and you're aware,
Yeah.
you're working on it. No.
Oh, I am.
Exactly.
I am. And we've spoken about it. Unfortunately for me, my wife is not one of those people that there are issues and she gives it the silence treatment. I prefer that. You will talk about it.
Okay.
So we've spoken multiple times, and it really hurts her because I understand now. When the dust clears, then you sit down.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a responsible human being, you sit down and then you think about it, and like, okay, I get it now. So yeah.
Awesome stuff. Yeah. But we live and we learn.
We do.
And every day we have the opportunity to be better than yesterday.
Yeah.
And so, yes.
Yeah.
Chief, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
And hopefully we'll do it again by the time she's 10.
Oh yes.
Well, before then.
Oh yes. Yeah, this was good. Just to say, like, I like what you're doing.
Thank you.
It's very thoughtful, right? And like, I feel I've vented a bit here, which is good, you know.
I get that a lot.
Yeah. I feel. I mean, you know, when men sit down, we talk about stuff. That's the only time we have to vent, right? And we always try to put on this cape of, okay,
I'm strong.
Okay, madam is asking what's wrong. Oh, I'm good. You know, it happened to me like a few days ago.
Okay.
I was overwhelmed with, and she kept asking, and I started getting irritated. I'm like, well, do you understand? But then we're amongst ourselves, we joke, and we usually say things jokingly, like, but this was a conversation. This is different, right? Yeah, we would joke about this just because we are men, you know. So it's a good platform to. I hope it grows.
Thank you.
I hope it grows.
Hopefully it will become the community that I was talking to you
Yes,
about.
yes.
And then it can be more in person with like-minded people.
Yes.
And as much as it's starting with fatherhood, it's really about men and our everyday challenges, but then the primary one being fatherhood. You know,
It's And then, when you hear other people's experiences, yours doesn't look that bad. I'm not even saying they're worse, but it's like, okay, you're not the only one going through.
Yeah.
Or these thought processes are not only you.
True.
And it's more encouraging that, okay, what, just keep on. Yeah. So.
How do you say thank you in your language?
Yeah, you put me on the spot. I know it, but I forgot it, man. Yeah. I've been in Ghana too long.
Join us again on the next episode of Dad's Day.